Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy. Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Oh, you guys can hear the mic now? How you guys doing? Can you hear me now? Can you hear Greasy? We're still not hearing Greasy. Welcome, guys. Noob, no sound intro. Yeah, we are new to it. We're getting it rolling. We just got to get audio from Greasy here. Oh no. We can do sign language. Let me make sure that Discord has sound. Have Greasy here. We got sound. Oh no. Oh no. I have I'm not getting any sound from Discord. Jack and D-Buzz come and be producers. Maybe it's just audio jack or something. It's showing my green square. I'm not catching your green square. Got volume. Oh no. We gotta get some input on the audio here. Couldn't be desktop audio. Yeah, bud. I can't. It's not pick. I don't think Discord is picking up your voice. I don't see your square changing. Do you see your square changing? We're gonna get it fixed. We're gonna get it figured out, though, guys. Man. We're gonna get it figured out. We got a great discussion here. We got a lot of things. Greasy here is a 9-time undefeated kart motorsport racer. Awesome community behind him. He's got a great following with the with like the trailer park boy kind of scenarios going on. He's got all the soundboards. Big fan of Bubbles. Big fan of Trailer Park Boys myself. Let's see. Can you click on your input button and make sure it's clicked to your microphone? I have mine set to microphone, USB audio device on my input, and on my output, it's the default speakers. Maybe check the, yeah, I think possibly it's just not picking up sound. If you like, you could probably leave and come back. We can start that back up. But we'll get it going, guys. No worries. We're gonna get it going. I appreciate you guys for being here, though, and I appreciate the racing last night. Everybody hanging out. The community's growing. If you guys haven't seen the last video, that is posted. But we're gonna let Greasy get that figured out. And in the meantime, I should be able to hear when he jumps in, or at least should be able to see a green square when he jumps in. In the meantime, just want to kind of give you guys some updates about what we got coming up on the channel here next week. Introducing the G29 giveaway. We're going to be raising $240 as a community and shipping that out directly to a new sim racer. I just heard Greasy. I just heard a pop. There we go. We got you, Greasy. I got you. I got you. All right. Without further here we go. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Greasy Samsquanch. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today outside of our technical difficulties?
I'm good. You know, this is real life. This is why I do live things. We had it all hammered out before, and I didn't change anything. Apparently, it changed something on its own when I sat down.
That's technology for you, man. That's technology, man. Well, I'm excited to have you on the show. It's our second episode. We're trying to get some momentum rolling. I'm really thankful and honored to have you as a guest. You've been a huge influence on my GT kind of growth and just learning sportsmanship and having fun and how to build a community. And I have so many of your community members who have come into my community and helped me kind of launch this and kind of make this whole YouTube thing a reality. I know that you, so first of all, I just want to thank you for that and being the awesome person that you are and being on the show today.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on here.
Yes, sir. I'm going to give you the floor here a little bit to kind of introduce yourself. I know that you're checking in from Alberta, Edmonton, Canada. And that's, I mean, I looked it up. That's over 2,000 miles away from me. So I think it's safe to say that we're covering the spread here from north to south, because I'm right by the border of Mexico. But just tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're a father, you're a mechanic at Nissan, and just kind of what got you behind the wheel and led you to being on the show today.
What got me behind the wheel? Well, I have to say that it would have been, what is it, 1997 Gran Turismo 1 came out?
I did, yeah, 97, 98, yeah.
My buddy's older brother came home with a copy of the PlayStation 1 and the game. And I remember that opening screen, the Aston Martin driving by, all pixelated and looking good. And I
I'm
was
damn
hooked
good
ever
at
since.
that.
Right? My buddy used to have to hide the game from me when I came over because I wanted to play it all the time. But always into cars. My whole life, I decided it'd be a good idea to work on cars. Is I love cars. I might as well go work on them. That was a bad idea. Learned a lot from the trade, but don't recommend doing that for a job to anybody. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm a dad. I got two boys, 13 and 8, Tristan and Jade. You guys have seen Jade many times on
Yes,
screen.
sir.
Tristan's a little more elusive though. He's got that teenager vibe to him. He doesn't want to jump on screen.
You said a soccer game yesterday too, right?
Jade and his
Won
team had
9-1, right?
9-1, yeah, 9-1. But well, on the scoreboard it only said 5-1. So
Hey, we keep scoring our hearts though. We keep scoring our
yeah,
hearts.
that's true. That's true. But yeah,
Yes.
so I guess next Saturday they're up against their number one team in their division. So they got their work cut out for them next week, but it should be a fun game.
Nice, man. I'm a father as well. That's one of the things that I really enjoy about chatting with you and talking with you, because we have a lot of the same kind of things that we work around with our schedule and making sure we stream when they're at school, or then when they're out of the house, and when they come in. I know everything stops. I mean, I never make the sim. For me, I always say the stream waits. My kids never do. So just
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
awesome. You got two boys. I'm jelly. I got my one boy who's my oldest, and then I got my three girls. I definitely wanted another boy though, but I'm so blessed, and I'm definitely in my girl dad phase too. So starting to learn to be a gentle giant.
There you go. Please
See,
just have your time when they get older, and you could bring boyfriends home, and you could do that.
oh man,
A little chat with them.
just now starting to deal with boyfriends, man. Just now, tell her to slow down, man.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Well, you can't stop it, so you might as well just keep an open line of conversation with your kids, and that's all you can do.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into, you said you were a mechanic. You said you were at a mechanic at Nissan for 20 years?
What was it, 16 years? West End Nissan as a mechanic. Yeah, I started in the. But I started at Ericsson Nissan, another dealership downtown, as a parts truck driver. That's when I first got into it. And I would have been around 2000, I think that was when it was. Did that for a bit, then went and did welding school for a bit, and then came back and decided to jump in with both feet, go and do the apprenticeship thing, and get a career. Right? That's what everybody wants you to do, is get a
Yeah, try
career.
to try to get a career, man, that doesn't leave you beaten and broken.
And fortunately, this one did.
Right? It's we got a
All
lot
know
of
my pets are broken, but everybody knows that about me now. It's
I've
what it
laid
is.
I've laid a few dimes. I can't say I've laid a few nickels myself, man. Out on the rig, man, we got a lot of the welders do very well. They do very well. We're welding, 2,000 feet of perforated pipe, in a night, and those guys come out, and
It's a cool skill. I like the welding because I'm always cold, so I
right.
like being around the hot metal and the torches and stuff. And I love playing with fire and things like that. But
Fire, fire, fire.
the first job that I got in the trade was not a good experience. It was
I'm
poor air
damn good at
quality.
that.
It was just like, I'm gonna die in a month doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm out.
Yeah, dude. So, and that's kind of what, I told you guys, a little bit of background. What got me into the, behind the wheel was, getting hurt out on the drill rig, and, that tough line of work, man. It's kind of a relief for me when I found sim racing, because I ride bikes, and I like to go fast, and I like to, I like speed, and I like motors and heavy things, and all those things get me hurt physically. And I can't say that sim racing hasn't got me hurt, because even I've seen you twist a finger and wrist or two. But when I went to this DD, I didn't
I
understand.
punched myself in the face with the microphone the last street. Yeah.
And I've turned a wrist or two, but for the most part, it keeps me safe. It keeps me off the bikes, and it gives me that same adrenaline rush that I get from going fast in real life. And I know you know something about that too. I want to get this right. You are a 9-time, going on 10-time undefeated indoor kart champion. Tell us a little bit about that, man, and congratulations.
In Edmonton here, yeah, they do these little tournaments, and I've been cleaning the house on them. Duffel bags and Liam are hot on my heels. Though Duffel bag should have won one, but he made a mistake, and that's all I needed to take the lead. But so far, so good. I've been going to Speeders. I found it. Speeders was the new building that I'm in. If you guys haven't seen the videos, I got some videos on my channel of the go karting or whatever. But it's a multi-level track the old track that we started on was just like a warehouse flat track kind of thing where they switched up the track all the time. But I got going into there. That's how I met Josh Duffel Bags. You guys know from the stream. He helps me
Shout out
build
to
all
Duffel
the stuff
Bags.
that I'm doing here. Yes, shout out to Duffel Bags. But that's where I met him, and we started going there. Like it was a bad habit. It was like a $300 a week habit, doing 10 races in one sitting kind of
Ooh,
thing. But it kept me out of trouble. It was there's much worse things to do than go-kart racing. So got addicted to that, and then it just carried on to the new building, and now the Greasy Samsquanch name is well known in the speeders community. I've gone down to Calgary, city 3 hours south from us, in Duffel Banks, and I took home a tournament in that one as well too. So technically, you can kind of say I'm the fastest in Alberta.
ooh, ooh, that's a title right there. I know I saw the
It is
video,
so
right?
close.
Wasn't it you going for the 9 time? You posted a
Yeah, that
video,
was the last one. Yeah, that was the last one.
and I know you're trying to work on a chin cam, right? Trying to get some better views.
Yeah, I ordered one of those chin mounts. You probably know them from doing the motorbike thing. They pop up all the time on my feed, but it's just like a little 3D printed thing for a GoPro mount, and it's profile fit to the profile chin of your helmet. You gotta pick your helmet, and then they
Right,
have a specific one for it or whatever. But put
right.
it on there, but the little GoPro bracket that I have only sticks out about that far. So I couldn't tilt the camera back far enough. So it was basically just shots of my hands and steering wheel
Oh,
the
that
whole
sucks.
time.
Yeah, I've
But yeah.
that's real life stuff. So that's and I went live riding my bike, and I couldn't help but have like the thought in my head, like, I'm live riding a motorcycle in like real life. There's no reset button, there's no restart button. So for me, watching footage that's like real life danger, real life speed, it's exhilarating, man. That video was awesome. You got some skills for sure. How does
Well,
that?
that's good. If you go back one video further than that, is the one where I got hit the hardest I've ever been hit in a go-kart. The cart
Oh,
comes off the ground in that one.
I
But yeah.
saw it. I saw you one where you had a gnarly bounce. I think that was still the same the championship video. Didn't you have a gnarly hop there or something? You sent it.
Oh yeah, there's jumps. There's jumps on the track, and I'm light enough where I can catch every. Those hurt, but yeah, that one I think I actually broke something on that cart when I came down. But no, the race before that, I was coming out of the Joker lane, and I was practically out of the Joker lane. A guy was coming around the hairpin, and he just looked at me and kept his foot in it and just plowed me into the wall.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh. So
it's a hard.
I gotta know. I gotta know. All right, you're an A plus driver. You
Yeah.
are, and you spend a lot of your week. And we'll get to fun fact to Friday's Fun Factory, but you spend a lot of your week running through a lot of variety of cars. You display an insane amount of racecraft with just your understanding of. And I told you this from the beginning. I think what I see different in you is the way you attack apexes. It's a certain vision that I watch, that is a skill that I'm trying to learn. But do you think that your karting has translated into your sim racing?
I think it has a little bit. I want to say I try to be very consistent and do the same thing every single time. In a way, it's good. In a way, it's bad. In a way, with the go-karts, because especially the ones that I drive, it's not like the videos you see of the carts without the seatbelts, the gas-powered carts. These are electric go-karts that are very heavy, and you've got to keep your momentum up. So minimal inputs on the steering, consistency, consistency, consistency. But at the same time, when I get into Gran Turismo, I try to not let the car slide too much and walk around on me, where I think that slows me down in a certain way, where I don't let the car rotate as much as I probably could to get it to go around the corner sometimes. But yeah, I think it's just you learn how to read the traffic a little bit better,
Yeah.
especially with my past at speeders racing the general public. They used to put us at the back of the pack, and we just like rail through them. So it's always fun trying to be able to read the traffic and read
Right.
people's moves and try and figure out what they're going to do before they're even doing it.
I definitely
That's
think there's got to
I
be an
love
advantage there in like your nerves and just kind of your instincts and being able to look out ahead. I know something that I'm trying to work on right now. I had saw a video. I think maybe I want to say it was Tigney. I'm not sure, but it was about looking, or no, it was Sparks. It was about Sparks Theory. Shout out to Sparks Theory. It was about looking way out ahead, and it was comparing like new racers and their vision and how they're all over the screen and they're watching so many different things, whereas more experienced racers are watching as far out onto the track as possible. And is that something
that
that,
translates from real life to video game big time. That is a real big thing. Looking where you want to go is such a such a real thing, especially when you get in behind a big car and you can't see them and see the corner in front of you. You
Right.
can't see the brake marks. You can't see the turn in. You're trying to like, you'll even see me when I make my rig. Like, I'll try and like peek up and over the corner or whatever, right? But yeah, it's a skill for sure. It's an art form too, almost being able to dance the car through traffic and stuff like that, and read it and manipulate people into doing what you want them to do without them really knowing it.
Right, and that's that racecraft. That's that next level stuff, the mental game. I know for me, especially coming from riding bikes, I'm a leaner. All of our turns are leaning and counter, and the problem is counter steering. But I'm even with my shoulder, right? I think even without my shoulder injury, I would still lean because I'm just so used to using my kind of using my lean to steer. And I think when I see other guys who ride bikes and stuff, we often joke about our lean. So it's really funny. It's really funny to hear kind of how the karting relates to GT and kind of how that wildness is. Because every time I watch karting, it seems like you're inches away from a catastrophe happening, and it's so. You guys have the same thing with us. How you're not in a cage. There's no protection. You're open to the elements. You get hit by shrapnel. You get hit by rubber. You get hit by all kinds of things. So I
Yeah.
know protection is super important. And so what I'm really interested in is I know that you have a really custom made rig. I know you've put a lot of work into it. I know you've gone through some trial and error. You've completely restructured the basement. You've built out your own man cave. You've put a lot of work into it. I have a pretty amazing kind of rig progression over the last 6 months. Tell me a little bit about what you did to put into your rig and kind of make it the most immersive setup for you.
Well, it came down to budget for me for one thing, because these slotted aluminum rigs, don't get me wrong, I want one. I love them. They're super slick. You can put all
Someday I'm
sorts of
going to.
attachment on it, but I'm balling on a budget over here. So I had leftover plans for a Ricmotech rig, exactly the rig that I'm rocking right now. But this one has been, you guys will see it in the video when I finally switch things over, how many times this rig has been modified to work for different pedals, different wheels, and whatever. But I
How
like,
much blood and stitches have gone into it?
well, one broken finger, one broken finger, a little bit of blood, no stitches, a little bit of tears, lost hair on the head. But
It ain't
I like
easy.
building stuff with my hands and doing projects. So that was why I did mechanics. I like doing stuff with my hands. So I got some tools and I started building this rig. And I'm telling you, it looks good. I put a lot of effort into this thing. Not to mention the carbon fiber table that I got to
I
put all this
saw
beautiful
that.
stuff on afterwards.
What
So
kind of materials are you using to get that done?
that was just some plywood and some real carbon fiber. We went and bought some real
Carbon
carbon
fiber.
fiber, some carbon fibers, and epoxy. I tell you what, anybody who's messing with epoxy on a large scale, be ready for
Dude, I've
headaches.
wanted to get into epoxy stuff looks cool. I want to put all my Legos in like epoxy. If all these like
Dude,
Lego cars, and not on your level. I mean, you got like the Technics, the big freaking. I
oh
mean,
man, that would be thousands of dollars of epoxy to make
that's
things look good.
insane.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The epoxy's fun. It was really true. What I wanted to do was build like a deep table and make like a diorama inside of it with like these little model cars that I have here.
Yeah.
And then encase that in epoxy, but I started pricing on epoxy and it's like not happening. So just ended up with just a nice flat carbon fiber tabletop. And I built a little accessory to go on top of that. I need to get one more camera and then it can all be set up. And should be
Yeah,
cool.
my son
My
makes me
kids
all
love it.
these little Lego Ferraris and Aston Martins and McLarens and all these cool things. And I take so much time. Yeah. Oh, I have yeah.
That's the Gran Turismo one right there.
Those are very cool. We try to get them when they're like, like 2 for 30
Yeah,
kind of
man.
thing. 'Cause
Lego's expensive stuff, man. You gotta
what?
get it when you can, man.
They made a huge comeback. I remember I've had boxes of Legos, and I don't know if anybody's watched like the whole Lego comeback story and how they partnered with big media productions and stuff to like come back. But it almost felt like we almost lost Legos for a while, and now as
Really? I
adults
didn't realize.
we have even better Legos.
Oh, so good. That Lego that Bronco got me, the Lamborghini Technic one, it will have a spot on this wall, but oh my giddy God, that thing has taken me so long to build.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
step four, box four out of six, and there's 13 bags just in box four.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
it's a build and a half. It's an absolute build, but it's cool. It'll be worth it once it's all said and done.
That's amazing. So all right, so we got Legos, we got rigs, and so is GT7 the only game that you play? I haven't seen you on a lot of other games, but I mean,
Yeah,
how,
usually if you see any other games playing online, it's usually my kids on the PS4 upstairs on my account. Because yeah,
gotcha.
it's usually just Gran Turismo for me. My PlayStation 5 has only ever seen Gran Turismo 7 and the Call of Duty. And the Call of Duty is just a waste of time for me. I
Yeah,
just suck
true to the
at that.
GT. What is it about GT over everything else? Was it just, luck of the draw, or is it, have you ever thought about going in like ACC or iRacing or any of those other
I've
levels?
thought about ACC. I know there's been some suggestions in the Discord and stuff that people want to see me on ACC. I haven't got the game for it. I'm so diehard into Gran Turismo. I like the easeability of the game where you can just kind of jump
Yeah.
in and you can get into it and do that kind of thing. I've always wanted to get into iRacing, but I have a feeling if I dabbled into iRacing, it would consume me completely, and then I would be a useless soul on the earth, and you wouldn't see Gran Turismo, and my kids wouldn't see me because I'd be too deep into it.
I think
And
I've learned that I think people follow the kind of the class of cars they like, and I think I've found that it's not too difficult for the GT to ACC transition. But I have noticed that once your community gets rolling in a certain genre and kind of a certain game following, it's really difficult to transition into other genres of games. Like I started in Madden, and I like first person shooter games, and I like a lot of sports games, but I really wasn't too happy with the community and kind of the way that was working. And I think there's something special and unique about the sim racing community and about this genre of racing and all
Gran
that goes into
Turismo
it.
in specific, I think the community in Gran Turismo is just unbelievable how close everybody is in this game. Like it's not the most popular game on the planet, but I think it's got the tightest group of people in it. Like the communities that we build from your channel, my channel, McNaughty, Sparks, you see Rory, the following that it has is pretty good, and the community behind it is for the most part pretty good, and everybody's nice, and nobody really there's always a little bit of internet drama, but for the most part, everybody's really kind to one another and
Yeah.
helps one another.
Yeah, I think everybody in here knows about their own levels of drama. We get our own level of drama, and we all have our own different way of dealing with it. I think some of us laugh out of it, some of us choose to just completely eliminate it and just completely ignore it. I'm
Or I try and turn them. I try and turn angry people.
That's
I
what
get
I try to do.
and it
Shout
hurts
out to
them
Gar,
sometimes.
man. Shout out to Gar. Like the other night, man, had a rough stint with a racer, and it started off as negative. And we don't. On my channel, we try not to push anybody away. Like I've told you my background. I'm a psychologist. I'm faith fearing. I just try to treat people the way I like to be treated. And I try to make friends out of those people. Some of my best friends in life are people that I've fought the hardest with, actual fist fights to become lifelong friends. So
100%. I've had a few people like that come into stream where they're just like coming guns a-blazing, and then you're just like, you check
yeah,
it with a little bit of attitude to begin with. You're like, okay, let's step back here and talk about things. That's the biggest thing, and
right.
not just in the gaming community, in the whole world in general. People need to communicate, even if they have differences of opinions. The communication barriers need to stay open. As soon as people start
Couldn't agree
talking,
more.
is when things go bad.
Yes, sir. And as fathers, man, as fathers, we're setting an example. We're not perfect, and our kids know us. And the thing about being on this YouTube screen, right? And for me is I know that there are people who play characters, and their whole thing is playing a character. I think that what we do here in this cockpit, right, behind these wheels is so immersive that you lose the ability to kind of pretend or to maintain a character because it triggers so much frustration, so much passion, so much adrenaline, that you get into this, and it's a task and it's a challenge to maintain that kind of positive outlook and to get to the next race and to let everything behind you. So I just want to say, man, I admire you a lot because I've been on your channel and I've watched how you've kind of dealt with some of the negativity. And I just want to say, kudos to you and your community. And I think that's why the longevity happens is that if I can give anybody advice is to not let those people get under your skin, that they're always going to be there. And the longer you're here, the more it's going to happen.
Yep, I agree. I think being a mechanic and in the trade helped me a lot with patience and things like that because everybody knows you're working on cars and things like that, especially when you're dealing with customers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Things never go smoothly. You have to be prepared to change direction and just move on from things. That's the biggest thing in life in general, not just video games. You got to be able to learn from it and move on, shake it off, and then just treat it like it's never happened.
for sure, for sure. What's the drive behind Greasy Samsquanch? How did you, first of all, how'd you come up? I know where the name comes from. I know where it's, I got to hear about it. You got to put a shout out there. You're in Canada. Tell me how the name came and tell me where you're going with the channel. Kind of what's the mission?
All right. Well, the name came from I'm obviously Canadian.
Oop, that's
Right at an age, I was like 19, 20, 21. You're impressionable. You like stupid shit. So this show came out called Trailer Park Boys, and my buddy Mike Anderson introduced me to it. And I did not like it at first, but then I sat down, got into it. My God, best show on the planet. If you're over 18, check it out. But
yes.
the name came from that because Bubbles is always talking about greasy this and
I'm
greasy
damn good at
that.
that.
Samsquanches. And
It's pretty good.
we went to it was a work event. We went to Speeders for a work event, and you had to come up with your racer name. And I was just like Greasy Samsquanch, put the two together, and that name stuck ever since. So
Oh, I
rolled it
get
in. My
it.
dad hates it. My dad hates it. He sees my email pop up, Greasy Sam 1214. You need a better email. This is ridiculous. But now that I got a channel behind it and all this stuff, it makes sense now. But I still
Now
think
it's here
that
for
whenever
life.
I give an emails, people are just like, "What?"
Dude, I love the logo. I get it now. In mechanic, I get the greasy part. I was trying to figure out what's it. It's the oil. He's a mechanic, man. I get it. Clever, clever man. I
But yeah,
see
that
you.
all spawned from that. So yeah, no, that's what everybody called me at work. Everybody's calling me Greasy after that. So it's just like that was kind of just stuck.
I
So
al- so one of the thing I always see you do, and I think in the last few months, I've seen you do a couple of giveaways. I know that you had a really special one. You said the picture behind you, if I'm correct, was painted,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that one there. I love that painting. If you could see it up close, there's texture to the oil painting on that one. My mom did such a good job on that one. I'll never
It's
ever forget
beautiful.
it.
It's beautiful. So I know that you gave away what was it? A kind of a copy of that?
Yeah, it was a print. I was at it was the Champ Car races when they were coming here years and years ago. Like I've had that print for it has to be at least 20 years.
Wow.
But I gave it to my mom. She copied it to paint that painting, and then I had it sitting here forever. I didn't know what to do with it. I thought maybe give it to the kids, put it on the wall, and then I was like, you know what? Giveaway time. And Jackhammer was the lucky one to
Shout
take
out
that
to
one.
Jack.
Unfortunately, it's on a boat somewhere in the middle of the ocean. And he's gonna get it. So,
Jack's here with us watching, man. So shout out to Jack. Good to see you,
what's
brother.
up, Jack? I hope you enjoy
Yeah,
it,
we
man. But
got we
yeah,
got Jack, Hog, Blanco. We got Eric B the realist in here, 3 in the morning, Rob, D Buns, some awesome folks. K Dub, PhD
what's up,
Squeezy was in
guys?
here. A lot of amazing members, a lot of people again that travel between the communities and
Yes.
again they can vouch for kind of what we're trying to do. Is there like an overall mission for your channel? Is there something you're trying to reach? Is there a milestone or something that's next? What are you looking forward to?
My thing with this is I'm just trying to have fun with it and do it and create an environment where people can come in and just have some fun and chat and just hang out and do whatever. I'm not the best racer out there. I'm not the fastest. I definitely crash and make mistakes all the time, but that's the realism behind it. I just want to make a place where people come hang out, have fun. If I end up getting lots of subs from it in the end and all this stuff and get the YouTube fame, then that's a bonus for me. It's kind of I'm not going crazy for the subs. I want to make a good community base of good people where we can just have a good time. And then I feel like the personality and the people in the stream and the community will end up bringing the subscribers we want. Not essentially just to have a high number, but a lower number with more engaged subscribers, I
Right.
suppose.
I've been about quality over quantity since the beginning. Since day one,
Yes.
when there was one person in my
Always.
channel, I've had tried to maintain the same energy. I have that Kobe, Michael Jordan mentality where something they said that'll stick in my mind forever. And I took this on the wrestling mats. I took this with me my whole life. We always have those little lines, and it was, today might be the first day that someone ever saw you. So do what you do to the best of your ability, you know, and on these
Exactly.
platforms, I just try to do that, whether I'm having a bad day or a good day, or, you know, a lot of people, it's awesome how the community kind of rallies around you and will help you through those bad days. And it's
100%.
amazing how this racing community, the immersion in the community has been, it's really touching, because I've seen stories, with Hogston. I've seen stories, and Hogston sticks out in my mind because it was one of the first ones, you know, when he had his knee injury, and, you know,
Yeah.
he was out of work, and the community rallied around that man so much. And it's
Oh,
not
it's
about the
amazing.
number. I seen more, and again, Rory was the first channel I ever seen. It's huge inspiration to saying, hey, I think I can do that, and so many others. But, you know, Hogston isn't, you know, 100,000 subscribers, but it was a handful of people, several dozen, that pitched together and made sure that that man was protected and happy, and being able
Yeah.
to take care of his family in the time that he was
Same
off
thing
work.
when I had to take off to Mexico and my dad had the stroke. Everybody was on Discord asking how I'm doing, this, that, the
Hmm.
other, and it means a lot. It's like, especially when you don't have faces to put to a lot of these people
Right,
and barely even a voice to the name. Like, I
right.
make up your guys' voices in my head when I'm talking, you know what I mean?
I think
And
it's
then,
funny when I get to finally meet
oh, cool.
somebody and they're like their face or hear their voice for the first time, when me and Papa jumped on a call. Even today, when we jumped on Discord, you're like, hello, hello. And I was like, is
Hello,
that
hello.
is that Squatch? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. I
So
like the fact that it's just around the world. Like you have people tune in, and you're like,
yes.
"Oh, I'm from Indonesia. I'm from here. I'm from there." And it's just like this is wild. It's so
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
I'll be hanging out with Beavis and freaking Croatia, and then I'll jump over to the UK with, like I said, Hoxton and Marley and Jacko, and then I'm up in Canada hanging out with you, and then
Yeah,
Jester out in Australia, and it's pretty amazing. And I go and look at my analytics, and I got a huge following in like Russia. And I'm like,
yeah, it's
where
wild,
are
man.
you
It's
guys,
so
man? What's
wild,
up?
right?
Say hi. How you guys doing? Yeah,
Yeah, once you get the analytics and you start looking at where people are subscribed from, it's pretty mind blowing how far you could get your voice to go nowadays. Like it's just makes a small world even smaller. It's wild.
and again, that's why I admire you for maintaining, you know, the person, the image, and the values that you do, because it's easy. The world loves misery loves company. A lot of the world is focused on being negative and criticizing and tearing people down and divisiveness. I really think that coming together here is a special thing that I've found. I know that you already have it. So thank you for welcoming me into your community. Thank you for introducing me to so many amazing people, and just thank you for coming here today, because it really makes my journey
No
that much
worries.
more special.
No worries. Like I say on the stream there all the time, like I have no problem helping other people out. Like I don't even I think of myself as a very, very small YouTuber still. And when people want to post stuff on my channel, it makes me feel a little proud of myself. Like, oh, people want to have their stuff put out on my channel in hopes that they can get some more too. So I'm all for helping people, all for the positive energy.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
trying to instill that in my kids.
And so
Positive thought, keep the negative out.
so while the chat is popping here, you guys get some questions ready, because we're gonna come up with some questions here for Greasy. I got a couple questions for him myself. First of all, are there any upcoming events or milestones? I think we talked about milestones, but you have a giveaway coming up. Is there any
We do have a
news
giveaway coming
that
up.
you want everybody to know about?
We do have a giveaway coming up, and I have to check my calendar because I can't remember what day I said the giveaway was going to be. I think it was November 27th. It will be the next giveaway. It's nothing crazy. It's just a little thank you for you guys. It's just a little lamp, a Spa Francorchamps lamp, just a little LED light in there. But the way I do things, I don't do the big Discord giveaways. I did that once, and it felt so impersonable to me that I didn't want to do that again. So on the 27th, on these giveaway days, I struggle bust myself so hard. I have a hat here and a stack of sticky notes. And everybody that comes into chat and I see your name pop up, I write your name down, I put it in a hat, and then at the end of the stream, we pick a winner.
You
I
do
like
it
to
the
do that
old-fashioned
just
way.
I'm old fashioned, man.
I was
Idiot
there.
must
I
know.
was there live for one, and I was like, "This man puts in the work. He writes down everybody." As soon as I jumped in, it was, "Oh, got to get bike again." I was like,
Well, it's so
"Dang,
easy when you do a giveaway for people to just jump in a Discord, to jump in a bot and put a thing in where they're
yeah,
never in the channel. They're never in.
right."
These are for the people that are in the channel chatting all the time, making me laugh, making my cheeks hurt. teasing me with food puns, you son of a.
Yeah. Do you?
But
By the
yeah,
way,
no,
you have a tradition that you do on your channel. You take a shot of maple syrup.
I don't know if it's a good tradition or not. I need to re-up the maple syrup bottle. I actually gotta go grocery shopping after this. Gotta get the kids back tomorrow, but
We were
I probably
talking.
should get some more maple syrup.
We were talking earlier because I went all over yesterday trying to find some Canadian, some true Canadian maple syrup, and I can't. I found New York, Chicago. I found local syrup, and I didn't even want to try that because it's probably prickly pear syrup. And but I did, man. I did get my shot of syrup. So here at the end, hopefully we can toast to a great stream. I do wanna ask, is there any advice that you can give, not just for me, but for everybody watching? And again, I wanna point out that I'm trying to do something extra for the members. I'm trying to make sure that the people who are contributing to the channel and trying to make that grow, and time to me is more valuable than anything. I don't discredit anything that anybody's doing, but doing something special for the members, doing that little bit of extra, going above and beyond in your channel. What's the kind of advice that you can give for somebody who's just starting out, or something that you, after all that you know now, if you could go back, what's kind of the main kind of maybe top 2 or 3 points that you would focus on when you're just starting out trying to grow a channel?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I think the first thing is don't be scared and just jump in and do it. Do your research first, though. Although most people are better at computers than I am, so but jump in and don't be scared. If you have a need to do, it's not just streaming; it's with everything, I guess, in life too. If you have an urge to do something and want to do it, do it. You never know what'll come out of it, and you may end up really enjoying it. Like I was one of these people that was never in front of a camera, picture, video, whatever. I avoided it, and then took my thumbs being broken and losing my not being able to be a mechanic to just say, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try and see what people think of me or whatever. And I went, got the camera, went all that stuff. But it takes a bit of courage to throw yourself out there in front of a camera and just be yourself. That's the biggest thing for me is I just try to be myself. Worked for me for 43 years, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep going.
Here, here, man. Here, here. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
I want to say, I want to say that that is some of the best advice that I've heard, and I think everybody who's genuine and they tell people to be yourself, just have
Yeah.
fun, man. Go out there, be yourself. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter
Yeah.
what you sound like. It matters that you have a sense of drive and that you have a sense of just the decency side. If you're gonna come on and you're gonna, tear people down or things like that, that's not gonna work for you. But you can have feuds, you can have tussle. We talk about getting our elbows out all the time and kind of, but then
Yeah.
you gotta come back together. And again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your advice. All the people out there watching, make sure that you guys listen to that. Be yourself. Enjoy yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. I
Don't
know
force it.
I
Don't
know
force it.
sometimes I get this Mr. Positivity title stuff, and I tell people that's not Mr. Positivity. I'm positively trying to do what I'm doing, and I'm not going to let anybody get in the way of that, and nobody else should either. Don't compare
No.
yourself, and watch and chat and talk and let people know that you're a new streamer. Let people know what you're doing, so that you might meet somebody that day that you never met before who's going through the same thing, and you might have an impact on them as much as they might have an
Yep.
impact on you.
100%. I always say that on stream too. If anybody in my subscribers, not even anybody even watching a video, if they're going through tough times or hard times, you could always come to the Greasy channel and have a chat. Always got ears open for people. I don't want people to suffer in silence. That's
Yes,
never a
sir.
good thing.
Good people over there in Greasy. I want to close out with talking a little bit about kind of your main attraction, which is Friday Fun Factory. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about Friday Fun Factory, how it started, what you guys do, and how we find it.
That I have to give credit. I believe it was Mac. Mac was the one early on in the streams where things started to pick up in the chat where he said, "Have you ever thought about doing open lobbies and things like that?" And I said, "Yeah, I have, but I don't have confidence in my name to actually fill a lobby. I don't know if people show up, kind of things like that. If you build it, they will come
Yeah.
one of things." So he put the thought in my head more than once. It took me a while to actually act on it, and then we started doing the Friday Fun Factories, and I came up with the name from watching, it was Cletus McFarland. I was watching the Freedom Factory, and I was like, Friday Fun Factory sounds pretty good. It's like let's do it. So every Friday we do the Friday Fun Factory where it's just come in. It's just for fun. I always tell everybody at the beginning of the stream is like, do not take this seriously because you will trade paint with people. You will spin out when you don't want to. Just have a laugh, have some fun going on with it. And it's turned out now we're getting full lobbies every
It's
Friday.
packed. It's packed.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's great.
It's picking up. It's like
Yeah,
Hoggy's Wacky Races, man. I don't know if you've seen Hoggy's Wacky Races, but he does a bunch of random combos, carts and cars, and trying to knock him off the track and things like that. It gives a good relief. And I think we were talking to Papa. He has Wreckfest Wednesdays. I think it's important that everybody has like their outlet day where they just take some time
100%.
to hang out. I just recently started doing lobbies so I can kind of hang out with folks. And it was really cool because in the lobby, I was able to just kind of hang out and race, like with Frunty and a couple of guys that were just willing to help
Yeah,
me
just
out and help
chill out
align.
and hang out, right? It's not you not have to worry about anything or DR or any of that kind of stuff because
Right.
we all know how stressful the dailies can get. Like
Oh,
you could take a beating.
yes.
We don't call them on the Greasy channel. We call them character building days. It's not a bad day. It's just a character building day. But we seem to be having a few more of those than than we want lately. But
It can get
it's
tussly. What would you say is like
yeah.
your favorite class to race in?
I got to go with my GR4s. The way they're balanced right now, minus the Lambo, they you
Minus
can
the
almost
Lambo,
pick.
my favorite.
Well, it's just that little bit too fast. They need to bring it down just a notch because
Mm.
they're so close to. I think it was before the physics update. The GR4 category of the BOP was probably at its best spot in my opinion because I had multiple streams in a row where if you haven't watched the stream, I almost pick a different car every single race and I drive them so you don't have to. But there was a while there before that
Yes,
update
Rob,
where
please do.
almost any single car, GR4 car that I picked for the race was able to get from the back to like fifth or fourth spot or something like that. But then they did the physics and it kind of changed a little bit. But I think they're very close on the GR4. So GR4 is my favorite category. You can always have some close racing with it. It's you don't have to deal with the dirty air as much, stuff like that. But yeah, I think they're
Dirty
really
air.
good.
I'm still trying to figure out what dirty air is. I blame everything on dirty air. I'm like, oh, it was dirty air.
Have to start calling you Keith.
Well, let me see.
Well, we experienced the dirty air last yesterday in the Jackhammer endurance race with those Group C cars going around Tokyo. I got in behind some. It feels like the car doesn't even turn anymore. But
Yeah,
it's all part of the game. Man.
do you think I hear a lot of pre-physics and post-physics kind of comparisons. What did that do for you? I remember everybody was struggling there for like 2 or 3 weeks, kind of getting used to that major update. And for me, it was like my first month. So I was just kind of like learning everything anyways. So
Yeah,
I don't have like the pre-update kind of feel.
yeah. The cars didn't feel. I think Gran Turismo. Now you cannot quote me on this. This is just my feeling of the game. We had the physics update, and then the cars got kind of bouncy, and everybody's having problems with them, and then they kind of went back normal. So I think Gran Turismo may have done something with the physics update and changed it again. So now we're possibly running like a tweaked version of that physics because the cars don't feel as bouncy to be anymore. And the biggest problem with that update was the wheelbases. The
Yeah.
wheelbases took a big hit on that one. Like I was running this DD Pro without the boost kit forever and it was fine. And after that physics update, I had to plug in the boost kit
Mhm.
to make this thing feel like it was any good because I had after the update, I think I was running 10 on everything, like max
Yeah.
force speed still felt like a featherweight. So
I heard a lot of
that
folks
was
say they had to turn up their feedback quite a bit, and I remember talking to Grove, and he had adjusted his feedback, and I got the same setup as Grove, so I take a lot of his feedback.
yeah.
Yeah, the physics update was interesting in watching a lot of people struggle, and I think
It always is, yeah.
honestly, I felt like I was able to catch up some ground while everybody
Yeah,
was struggling.
100% for sure.
Hoggy wants to know, shout out to Hogston. He wants to know, he said, I do like racing against Greasy when I race in USA servers. Does Greasy have a racer that he likes racing against in GT7?
Ooh, I like racing against anybody that's willing to go side by side with me and have a clean, close race. I have to do the shout out because he's from this city as well too, and he's one of the ones that got me into a rig and brave enough to compete in the what was it, the GT World Series. Not even that. We're talking like the GT Academy back in the day. It's Turismo Lester. Mr. Turismo Lester. He's from my hometown here in Edmonton. I'm always second in manufactured nations because of him. Always. But in real life and in video game racing with him is always an absolute blast. Like some of the best go-kart races I had in the city were with him, where I came
Wow.
second place there.
Wow. The champ.
He's one of
The
those names
champ
out there
does
that
have so many follows.
yeah, I do.
Nice.
Lester, yeah,
For me
Lester.
this week, it's been DeCrawler. DeCrawler,
Yeah, yeah.
almost podium, 3 in the morning. Cyrus have been,
Cyrus is another good guy
oh,
too. There's so many good names. Like to list them all, I'd be here forever.
yeah.
Like we got Grove, Cyrus, Lester. There's so many, like Guletsky. There's so many guys. Jackhammer. We got Buns. We got Will. There's so many people out there that when I see the names, that's the best part when you start doing this all the time and you start seeing the same names and it's fun. You get on
Oh,
the
yeah.
track and you see the names, you know how to kind of work with them or not work with them and
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that.
Last night I had to watch 3 in the morning's Vice City bumper for like 6 races in a row. It was driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's what happens, right?
And then let's see, D Buns. He said, ask Greasy about Bun's favorite Bugatti boat.
Oh, the Bugatti. Buns in his Bugatti. What color is your Bugatti, Buns?
And
Buns,
then Blanco wants to know. He says his favorite character on Trailer Park Boys is Bubbles. What's your favorite?
Oh, they're nothing without each other. That's the
They're
problem.
nothing
They're
without
nothing
each
without
other.
each other. So Bubbles has got to be. Shit, this is tough, man. Bubbles or J-Rock? Bubbles or J-Rock? But then there's Ricky.
J-Rock.
How can you not love Ricky when he's talking and he's got those Rickyisms? You know, it's not
Oh my
rocket
gosh.
appliances. You didn't get 2 birds stoned at once. Like he says it was such. There's so many. Then you got Leahy, Randy,
Oh my
Corey,
gosh.
Trevor. You can't. You got their family. They go all as one. I can't. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
they're so fun. It's good stuff. That's my childhood. I grew up in some tough places. I grew up in very low income and some tough trailer parks. And then even in some nice trailer parks. So we just grew up in trailers when I was young. You know, so like that lifestyle, you know, just kind of driving through like, oh my gosh. The stuff people do to try to, you know, to make those trailers, you know, an oasis for themselves is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite episode?
Oh wow. Dude, I don't know if I do. The Conky episodes are always good. The one where Bubbles gets his tooth infecting, he's got to go to the dentist. That's a pretty good one.
Shopping
Oh,
carts
I don't
ones.
have I have all these shows flashing back in my head, like the one where J Rock goes to prison. There's so many there's so many of them.
I always like to see what Ricky was living in each season.
Yeah.
Like where was he living?
Trailer, yeah.
How many different
Spoiling the whole
variations?
inside of Julian's trailer.
I like when he had like the 3-story like build up on the top of the car. He had a shower and everything in his kitchen.
That was when he's trailer park supervisor, wasn't he?
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, to wrap this up, man, I know we might have touched on it again, but if you could go back to the beginning, is there anything that you would have done differently or started, or if you could just go back and talk to yourself when you started, what would be the one thing you told yourself?
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. People are more accepting than you think. I think that's the best way to do it. Don't be nervous about things, because I was always scared to get in front of the camera. What if people don't show up? You know, like there's countless streams I had where just watch blank chat, nobody, and there are no viewers, and you just gotta plug through, and eventually people will find you. If you got good energy and good vibes, people will come. That's what it is. It's simple.
Well said. Well said. Well, I think it's time to take a toast. I don't know if you got
I don't have any left. I got a bunch of empty bottles. Which one do you want? I got one here, one here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 empty bottles here with a little bit in them.
Last episode. There you go. You got a little bit. Last episode, I took a toast with Papa, and I had my first ever Mountain Dew in, I think, 10, 15 years.
Ooh,
And
I've been doing decades.
I was telling my kiddos this morning when I was pouring this, and they were looking at me like I was crazy, and we were talking about your tradition.
Yeah.
I said, when I was a kid, my mom had to hide the syrup bottle at night because I would sneak into the kitchen and just take a chug of syrup. So since then, I haven't taken a chug of syrup, and so
Well,
this one's for you,
well,
Greasy.
we're
So
falling off the train. Greasy Samsquanch. All right. Cheers. Let's do it.
cheers, brother.
buddy. Oh, I got a little bit in there. That's awesome. Well, maybe one of these days I'll have to get your information. We'll send you a real bottle of maple syrup.
That's gonna wake me up. I tell you what, man. I'll have to get to some
You know,
racing after
I
this.
said it like 9:30 in the morning. It's like, ooh, give you a little sugar coma before you take off on the road.
Oh man. Well, hey, I appreciate you so much, man. I thank you for coming all the way out here. I'm gonna send you back to Edmonton, Canada. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a true honor. You're one of my favorite channels to watch, my favorite communities to hang out with. Shout out to all your peoples, man. You're an awesome father. Now you got an awesome story. I wish nothing but the best for you in your future. Like I said, we got Rob, D Buns, we got a full house in here with Blanco, Hodson, Jack. If you want to say goodbye to those guys, I'll give you a little moment to say your goodbye, and I'll take over.
I see it every day almost, you Greasy Samsquanches. We'll see you later. I might be on tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I might do a Monday stream. We will see. I do have the kids back next week though, so we'll have to work around that. We'll make it happen though.
Heck
Peace out,
yeah, man.
guys.
All right, brother. Let's give a round of applause to Greasy Samsquanch. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, and I will see you, sir, soon, man.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and remember to keep it greasy, everybody. Peace out.
Later, brother.
Peace.
Man, what a show. What a show. What a show. How about that? It's all good. Here, let me finish up, and then I will. There we go. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being a part of our second episode of Behind the Wheel. I couldn't think of a better person than Greasy Samsquanch to join. That was an amazing conversation. You know what's crazy is we talked for 57 minutes, just like with Papa. It's hard to maintain a conversation unless you're having conversations with awesome people like that. To all you guys who joined in today, thank you guys so much. Let's just shout you guys out from the top. We have KW who came in, RJ who came in. Get your memberships. Come hang out with us. Rob, Greasy came in, Jack, PhD Squeezy, D Buns, KW. Thank you so much for your dono, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Again, Rob, Eric B. the Realist coming in, Hogston, 3 in the morning, D Buns, Blanco. Everybody who took the time today to stop by. Again, 3 in the morning, I think I said to you before. There's just so much chat. Thank you guys. I'm really trying to get something going here. I'm trying to do something extra, something special. I know some people want me to push this out to maybe just subscribers, but again, man, we put a lot of work into. That's what the stream's for. We're doing a lot of stuff extra behind the scenes. We're coming up with the G29 giveaway next week. We're going to be putting somebody in front of their first wheel, and we're going to we'll get them on a behind the wheel and give us an experience, give us a talk and insight on what it felt like to receive that and what it feels like now to be a part of the actual sim racing community. I've been blessed in being a part of this community. I thank you guys so much for bringing me into this community and always helping me. Everybody who gives me feedback, everybody who's out there kind of keeping me on the right direction. I know sometimes races don't always go the way we want them. I know we don't always encounter the people we want them, but thank you guys for having my back, and thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys, and we're going to close it out with that. You guys have an amazing day. Tune in for episode 3 of Behind the Wheel next Sunday. It's going to be a banger. You will not be disappointed. We're going another few thousand miles in the other direction, and I promise you, you aren't going to want to miss this one. Stay in tune. Until then, y'all, Viking King is out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boy. It sound right, boy.